Yo, what is up, hashtag FURRYPACK, and it's me, Dwago, and tonight we have a tutorial video, but we'll be right back after this intro. Alrighty everybody, welcome to the video, and tonight, as you read the title and saw the thumbnail, we're going to be teaching you how to go ahead and set up OBS, and also how to fix one of the important issues, which is FPS in OBS, so you can maintain the FPS you wish to stream or record at when using the software. So first things first, when you go ahead and go to Google Chrome, you want to subscribe to this channel, and if you want to, you could join and be a member of the channel. You don't have to, but you can, but at least to subscribe. Let's try to get 2.5k subscribers. But after you do that, you want to go ahead and go to OBS Studio, which the link will be in the description, and you could go ahead and download OBS whether for Windows, Mac, or Linux. It's a free software, and then it's one of the most popular famous softwares out there. So yeah, anyways, once you go ahead and got that up and running, you could go ahead and just close it out. I should probably just close it out. There we go. And you could go ahead and, install once you download OBS, and after you install it and open it, you have something that looks like this. So I already have mine set up, obviously, but I'm going to show you a little bit on how to use it and how to set it up. So I had done a tutorial in the past with this software, but I figured why not just go ahead and renew it, especially because there's a current issue that's been happening with this software, and it's not just this software, but a whole bunch of recording software out there. And I'm going to show you a little fix to it. So one of the main things, if you're brand new to OBS, you're going to have a blank scene that's just going to be called, I believe, scene, and you can rename it however you want, and you can add more scenes. So this plus button, in case you don't have a scene, you hit this plus and you add a scene. So I have a couple added, one for console, one for PC, and then this is the one for the tutorial, where after you have a scene, and sources is where you can actually go ahead and do all your editing, or not editing, but all your freaking games, microphones, and all that kind of stuff is going to be added through here. So if you want to go ahead and add in, for example, a game, on the PC, you hit game capture, and you could title it whatever the heck you want, and through here you could go ahead and capture any full screen application or capture specific window. Specific window is actually much better, to be honest, especially if you alt tab a lot or something. You don't want to capture everything that's full screen. You could be full screen on a Google Chrome tab or your freaking bank info or something, and accidentally alt tab, and then they'll start capturing that. So specific window's best to go. And through here, you can select whatever the heck you want. For example, Apex Legends, which is the test video that we currently have right now. So, there you go. And you could go ahead and adjust it to size and everything. Right around the little yellow stuff, or not yellow stuff, the red little marks, it allows you to go ahead and adjust it to your screen. However, that's how you add stuff like that. Adding microphones is going to be the exact same thing. Basically, you want to go ahead and go to audio input capture, right? You select it, and then you're going to go ahead and select your microphone that you have, and pretty much that's how you go ahead and do a whole lot of the adding in and deleting stuff. If you want to add an overlay, for example, if I go to my PC one, as you can see I have this overlay. That's really simple to go ahead and do. You go ahead and go here and go to image and find the image that you want for your overlay and add it. And if you want to add links to a browser, for example, Stream Tips or something like that, you go in here and you add the URL right here. You adjust the width and everything. The custom CSS, usually you can keep that default for most things. However, some sites will actually give you one of what to put in here. But in here you can adjust the width and the height, and obviously the FPS you want, and you could go ahead and have websites or Streamlabs or whatever the heck you want to be shown on there. And it's pretty simple. And then obviously in here you can adjust the audio stuff and everything as well. You can even go in properties to reselect the stuff as well. You can mute it, unmute it. You can even add groups of items. For example, if I go ahead and add in, let's say, this browser source in here, and let's say I go ahead and add a secondary one just because I want to. You can also go ahead and create a group. So if you want, you go to group, you could call it whatever the heck you want, and then you could just drag everything into a group. and everything could be tucked away. Another thing is this little arrow here, or not arrow, this little lock. It locks it in place, so I believe you can't delete it. I'm not sure. Oh no, you can still. I believe it makes it so that you can't adjust stuff. Here, hold up. So, for example, if I have the first one here, let me separate these. Oops, there's one here. There we go, okay. So, I don't know which one's which. Alright, so there we go. One of them is locked, the other one is not. So, if I look at this first one, I can't move stuff around. Oh, I can move the group here. So, as you see, one of them I cannot move because it's locked. Now, this other one, I could move it because it's not locked. See, there we go. But the second I lock it, I can't move it. So that's what these locks are for. They're meant so that you can't just go ahead and accidentally move it when you're messing with the software. So really nice and handy to take advantage of that kind of stuff. Anyways, I'm actually going to delete the scene because I don't need it anymore. And it was just to show you how to add and remove stuff. So I'm actually going to show you my settings that I have, which you could go ahead and copy. But what is it? I will tell you a little couple things to go ahead and do differently. For example, I'm going to skip the streaming stuff because you don't need to really see that. Well, actually, I can show you. In here, you select your servers, like Twitch. Like if I click it, you know, you just want to select the service that you're streaming to, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff like that. And obviously server, just keep that unrecommended. It will always go ahead and give you the best one. Or you can select a manual one of a server that's really close by to you to stream to, but I would just keep it recommended because it's best. And obviously stream key, I'm not going to hit show because it'll show my key for Twitch, but all you're going to do is you're going to go to your Twitch or your YouTube page and find your stream key and just paste it in here, and that's all you got to do. As for output, this is where you actually start editing stuff. So I myself used advanced mode, so when you click it, you know, you select advanced, and that's what I like to use. And this is how you go ahead and set up OBS to get the best possible quality, you know, when it comes to streaming or recording and all that kind of stuff like that. So one of the things that you want to go ahead and do is for your encoder, you want to make sure you use your GPU because it's just better. Unless you have a dedicated streaming PC, then you can use the CPU because CPU could actually also go ahead and give you a much more better quality and stuff like that. But like if you're using the same PC to game and stream, using the GPU is so much better. If you're only doing a one streaming, you know, one PC setup, and you don't have a secondary PC with a capture card or anything. So when you click in here, obviously this one right here is the CPU, and the other one above is actually going to be your GPU, and you would definitely want to select that. Some of you might have multiple that as well. I only have two options, and there might be a couple of options. The one to tell that it's your GPU usually will be the one that has something to do with your GPU's like build. Like for example mine, this is AMD on here. And then it says Advanced Media Framework. You know, this one I know is my GPU because AMD, my GPU is an AMD based one, and that's the only option I have anyways that is hardware used for my GPU. Now for a lot of people, normally they'll say don't enforce streaming services encoder. I personally just do it just because I want to make sure that it actually does use my services or my settings of the encoder. However, if you go ahead and do a whole bunch of test streaming or recording and all your settings still work just fine without this checked, then don't check it. But if you want to make sure that it works properly and maybe it's not working without it being checked, then check it. Another thing is, a lot of people will probably tell you not to rescale the output. As well during here. Well, I want to double make sure that I keep my 1080p lock at all times, so I go ahead and keep it rescaled right here. But we'll get into that where you actually want to have it scaled to for sure, besides just doing it in the actual output settings. Now as for presets, this is where it gets kind of different. So for those that are on, like, I would guess an Intel build and a NVIDIA build, because my PC is all AMD based, you might see this differently, or I'm not entirely sure why, because for example, if I look at my laptop that has an Intel processor and a NVIDIA GPU, this is different, and it actually has different stuff like high, medium, low, and all that kind of stuff, or like fast and all that. But on here, on my desktop PC that's like AMD based, I have presets where it says recording, high quality, extinguisher goal, lossless, Twitch, and YouTube. Well, if you happen to have the same exact one or the same presets that it pops up for you, pick whatever you're doing. If you're doing Twitch, then pick Twitch. If you're doing YouTube, then pick YouTube. Even though I stream to Twitch here and there, I still keep the YouTube one, just because I don't feel like changing it constantly back and forth, and it still looks the exact same way as the Twitch one, to be honest. So yeah. Now this is the other quality balance stuff, where I only got 3 options. A lot of people might have different options on here as well. Or maybe they have the exact same one, but if you have the same one like me, I keep it on balance, because I want to have everything balanced. So that's where I keep it. Now obviously this is grayed out, so you don't do anything to it. Now pre-pass mode, I don't use it, so I keep it disabled, but you can use it if you want to. So yeah, I just don't use it. Target bitrate, now this is where it becomes tricky. So if you want to go ahead and be streaming 1080p at 30 frames per second, then in order to achieve that, you have to have at least 3500 to 4000 bitrate at the very least. And in order to have a nice smooth 1080p 30 FPS live stream. If you want to go ahead and stream something like 1080p 60 FPS, then you want to go ahead and I believe be 4500 or higher to like 6000, I believe, for target bitrate at the very least. And obviously the higher the better as well. Here's one thing though about this bitrate. If you cannot go ahead and maintain that bitrate, you're gonna have to lower it, because either your GPU or your CPU cannot handle it, and also your internet will not handle it, because this relies both on your internet speeds and also relies on your hardware, making sure it's capable of handling this bitrate. So yeah, however, filler data, it's automatically enabled. Don't do anything about it. Keyframe interval, by default, it's actually enabled because of the preset that I have selected, which is YouTube. So you just keep it there. If anything, I believe the reason why some of these stuff are automatically enabled is because of the YouTube preset. And I'm pretty sure if I went ahead and switched this to something else, I may be able to actually change these myself. So that's probably why they're grayed out. And obviously basic, and then view mode, I just keep it on basic because I don't do anything else. And audio check, just keep it at 1. Now as for recording, you want to go ahead and save where you want your files to be recorded if you do record videos. Your audio tracks, how many you use. Your encoder, if you're recording, you could choose to make it different or use the exact same as your stream. For now, I have it at the exact same as my stream. However, I don't actually use OBS to record, which is why I do it same as my stream. But normally, if you want to go ahead and record, you probably want to have the exact same settings as your live stream, but you probably want to change the bitrate to something higher, because when recording, bitrate is actually different on how you want to record. You want to have it higher when you record to get better looking quality. So yeah. And well, rescale, you could do rescaling stuff there. And in audio, and here you go ahead and mess with like the audio if you want to have it, to 160, 64, 95, 128 or whatnot. You can mess around with all that stuff as well. Audio, you can mess around with it here too. Now here at video, this is where you actually get to choose how you're going to be live streaming, whether it's going to be in 60 FPS or 30 FPS. Maybe it's going to be higher or maybe it's going to be lower. So as you can tell right here, they go up to 60 and they go down to 10. Now I stream at 30, so I keep mine at 30. Now right here is actually where you do the native, your actual, base resolution for what you're going to be having your game on. So if you have a 1080p monitor and all your games are being played in 1080p, well, you keep your base resolution at 1080p. However, let's say you wanted to go ahead and have your stream in 720p 30 FPS and not 1080. And here, you're going to put 1280 by 720. Now, for me, I do 1080p, so I have 1920 by 1080 because I do 1080. This you want to keep default. You don't ever really mess with it. You can if you want, but I usually prefer just to keep it default. And FPS, well, obviously, if you want to do 6 FPS, you put 60. If you want to put 30, then you put 30. There you go. Hotkeys, really simple. This is where you go ahead and mess around with all your hotkeys. So after you add in everything in OBS, like your scenes, for example, this is where you set up the hotkey for streaming and like to start and stop, the recording hotkey to start and stop. So if you added, for example, overlays, for example, I have one of my overlays that blocks my entire like stream whenever I'm like AFK or something. What is it? You know, I added a hotkey for that, so I could go ahead and just enable it. If you want to mute and unmute your mic, you add a hotkey. You add all the hotkeys in here. Obviously, everything is named for all your stuff, so it's all good to go, right? There you go. So that's about it for this. About it for that. And obviously, once you have OBS set up, you'll probably have something that looks like this all ready to go. Now, this is where we're going to get to the actual main part of the video, where to go ahead and actually fix, well, OBS when it comes to playing a game. And let's go ahead and get into that. So in the background, I do have Apex Legends, and I have it in window mode right here. Yeah, I've been disconnected for inactivity, rip. So right now, I have Apex Legends in 1080p window mode right now. And, well, if I go ahead and go into my settings for this game, I like to play at medium settings because I don't like to go ahead and max out all my games, even though I can. But, what is it? Here's one thing that I did do differently. I normally play in full screen mode or borderless window mode when I'm live streaming. But, what is it? Usually it's always full screen mode when I'm actually like playing and just recording only. Well, here's one thing about this. I have my game cap locked right now. If I go ahead, and that's because I'm using VSync. I don't have it cap locked right now natively through my GPU, which is normally how I cap lock all my games, because on my GPU it allows me to cap lock my games. But what is it? It doesn't work on window mode for some reason. It only works when you're on full screen, or at least for Apex it doesn't work when you're in window mode. So I'm not sure. However, if I go ahead and remove the cap of VSync and, you know, go ahead and play training mode. Let's load that up. We're gonna go ahead and, you know, out of sync with server. What? We got out of sync with server for some reason. Okay. So we're gonna open up some OBS right here. Now, out of sync with server. Why? Why is Apex not working right now? I don't know why Apex is not deciding to work right now. Maybe if I go into an actual game, it might allow me to. Wow, that works. Okay. Well, yeah, we're going to an actual game. This video is gonna be kind of lengthy. Jeez. It's gonna be a lengthy video. Anyways, so obviously we got Apex right here in the background. Let's get OBS here. And as you can tell, OBS right now is working at 30 FPS. Okay, it is working at 30 FPS right now. Right? So we shouldn't have an issue at all. And we should be fine, right? Well, just wait until we actually go ahead and start getting into the game. So this is gonna kind of actually be hard to really record it. Now that I think about it, what is it of OBS dropping FPS because I'm not tapped back into the game and the OBS is gonna be hidden. So hopefully it will actually show it without me having to actually tap back into the game. But yeah, let's see if it'll work. So. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be hard to really show it. Alright, let's just go ahead and I guess solo drop. So, you know, we're playing the game. Stop following just because I want to, since I'm just doing a quick record. So, my frame rate, if you can see right now, I am averaging around 100 FPS or whatnot. Blah, 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 right? You know, well, yeah. Hopefully. As you can tell, there we go, we caught it, we caught OBS. It was below 30 FPS. Look, if I tap back in, we're playing, you know, we're landing, we have some high frame rates on the game. And, you know, we're just grabbing some stuff. So if I go ahead and, oh crap. I did it wrong, hold up. So let's go ahead and shoot. Ah. Damn you, OBS. They did it once. They did it once for us. That's the one thing that's kind of hard, because what is it? It's kind of hard to show it. I should have probably put my screen to 720p instead, but yeah. There we go. It did it. The FPS is dropping. There we go. So that's what I want to be showing you. The FPS is being dropped. Okay, now it's gonna be really hard to. Well, actually, I could just record a quick video on this, and probably then show the recording of it. So maybe if I just do the quick recording on it, I guess. So if I go ahead and hit record, screw it, just record the little bit of it. Now go ahead and record a bit on OBS, and we go ahead and tab out and we stop it. Now, as you could tell, encoder overloading. The encoder was overloading, trying to maintain that 30 FPS. Now, this is how you go ahead and fix it. So, if you're playing in full screen mode and you have a GPU that allows you to cap lock your games, you want to open up your settings for your GPU and cap lock it to however you want. However, if you don't have a GPU that allows you to do that, or if you don't have an app, like, there's many apps out there that allow you to cap games as well. Or if you don't know how to make a CFG file, one of the easiest things you could do is turn on VSync. And if you enable that, obviously it's going to cap your game, right, to 60, or to whatever your monitor is at. My monitor is at 60 right now, so, you know, my cap is at 60. So, simple as that. Here I am, freaking playing, and my game is capped. So, if I go ahead and switch over, nothing is going on. But if I start recording, here I am running around playing. I can't shoot anymore because I wasted my ammo, but here I am just messing around in the game, and I'm maintaining that 60 FPS. And if I go ahead and alt tab back out, I didn't even get anything at all. That's just my encoder was having issues. Now we're gonna go ahead and actually freaking leave this match here. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually exit to desktop now for this. So obviously we didn't get any issues that time. If I go ahead and open up where I keep my files, here we go. Here is where the recordings are at. So one of them should be screwed over, and the other one should be working. So if I go ahead and look, one of them was recording at 2993. As for the other one, it was recording at 30 FPS. So one of them was working, maintaining its quality, while the other one was having issues. Great. Just record the little bit of it. As you can see, this one was having issues. It was just suffering so bad. And if I go ahead and play the other one, this is the one that was actually working. The one that was actually staying at the constant 30 FPS. Now the recording doesn't look very good, but that's again because I was using my streaming encoder, and I don't have a dedicated native recording preset for OBS because I don't actually use OBS to record. But as you could tell, the second my game was cap locked to a stable FPS at 60 FPS, it was working. Now, why is it that my game works, being able to be playable at a high FPS, but OBS can't go ahead and maintain that FPS? Why is it that OBS can't maintain a cap lock of 30 FPS, even though my game is running over 100? Well, simple. That's because ever since the Windows update released, the Creators update, I believe in fall, it screwed over a bunch of software. Whether it comes to hardware monitoring software, whether it comes to recording softwares, streaming softwares, and even screwed up a couple games, to be honest. Where literally it just wants to go ahead and just mess with a whole bunch of apps. Like, Microsoft doesn't know what they're doing when it comes to releasing Windows updates, let's be honest. And at the current moment, I mean, OBS can't actually record at can't record anything that's higher than like 100 FPS basically. I mean, I usually keep my games cataloged at 80, and I'm able to maintain my 30 FPS that I have on OBS when I live stream. And when I'm recording, when it comes to just using my software that I'm using right now to record this video, Action, At 60 FPS I record in 1080p with action, and I will maintain my 60 FPS cap lock. Without it, screen over when my games are cap locked at 80 FPS. Now my monitors are actually 75 Hz. I don't know why my monitor is 60 Hz right now. I think it probably freaking messed with. I probably was messing with it earlier. I don't even know. But what is it? However, I usually just keep my games just like 5 FPS higher than my refresh rate to go ahead and avoid a bit of screen tearing and also maintain a nice, smooth, enjoyable game. And yeah, there we go. Like, that's how you go ahead and set up OBS and how you fix up a little bit of an issue. And hopefully this video helped you out. I know this video is kind of lengthy, it's getting close to the half-an-hour mark, but oh well. And I gotta either way render out this video, so yeah. Hope y'all learn a thing or two on how to maintain a good, proper OBS streaming experience if you use OBS, and hopefully, yeah, everything works fine. Might as well show you how you cap games if you have a GPU. Like, for example, if you have an AMD GPU, if you have something like the RX 580 like I do, or like something in the RX 400 or 500 series, from AMD, I know you're allowed to use this, Radeon settings. So if you go into here where it comes to the gaming tab, go to global. Well, right here, you could go ahead and cap lock everything to however you like. So I keep it at 80, and that works for me. That's why I cap lock my games. On NVIDIA, I believe there might be a similar option like that as well. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of forgot. I believe there is, because I remember seeing it on my laptop, which has an NVIDIA GPU in it, and I remember doing it many times on family's PCs that have NVIDIA builds. So yeah, that's how you go ahead and maintain a solid OBS experience after you set it up. Hope this video helps people, and peace out, #FURRYPACK. RawXD. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Bye!